I'm Bridget. Today I have Shelby here with me, and we are going to show you how to make a glycerite, which is just a tincture with glycerin. So the first thing we're going to do is take a quart jar or a pint jar, either size, it's not, doesn't matter. And we're going to start putting some herbs in here. Today we're going to do one that we take a lot for colds and flus, and it really helps. And it has elderberry, which is an amazing antibiotic and antiviral. It's great for the flu. And we are going to put yarrow in here. And then we are also going to put peppermint. And this combination is one of my favorite that we use all the time, don't we? We take this a lot, don't we, when we're sick? Mm-hmm. Yep. We took it this year.
Spilled it a little.
Yeah, I spilled a little. That's okay. When you're doing a glycerin tincture, you don't have to fill it up as much. The rule of thumb is about an ounce of herbs for every pint of liquid, and I usually always put more in there just because I don't always measure and get exact. But that's okay. You at least want that much. So now, Shelby, you are going to put our glycerin in. This is just vegetable glycerin. You can find it online in several places. This came from the bulk herb store, which is one of my favorite places to order. They have good quality herbs. Shelby, if you want to pour it in, we're going to fill it up, and it's 60%. Yes, 60% glycerin, 40% herbs. Water. Excuse me. There you go. So 60-40 glycerin and water. So a little over halfway.
Looks like gooey stuff.
If you don't get enough glycerin, it could mold after a while, so you just want to make sure you have more glycerin than water. So kind of go halfway and a little more. And you going to help me with this one? Yeah. I'm just going to fill it up to the rim here with water.
Rim.
The neck of it. So the rim right here.
Yeah.
And so then we are going to,
put this in?
just a second, we're going to put the lid on it. And shake it up, see it's all mixed in good. And you know what, look, those herbs soaked up some of that, so let's put a little bit more water in there.
Can I try to do it by myself?
You sure can.
Enough?
A little bit more. There you go.
Whoa.
Good job.
Yeah. Why's the water down here?
It's water and glycerin. It just, the herbs are lighter because they're not soaked in it yet, so they float up.
Oh,
so they float. Once you get it filled up, you are going to put it in a pan. Make sure that you put a cloth down in here first so that you don't have the jar sitting on the bottom of the pot because it could crack. And I actually have had that happen when I was canning. So if you can, this might be familiar because you do similar things when you're canning or the same thing. Fill the water up at least halfway onto the side of it, and then you're going to let it sit and simmer for 2 to 3 hours. So you're going to cook it for that long. Just keep checking the water and make sure it doesn't boil down. You probably have to add a little bit of water. Once it's done, you'll want to let it cool off. Shelby kept telling me this was still pretty warm. I tried to let it cool off. So just make sure it doesn't burn you. And then you're going to take a cheesecloth and just strain those herbs out. So this one I cooked earlier. And, yep, go ahead and take it off. And this part may be a little bit harder to get.
Sticky.
Yep, it's that. There you go. All right, just dump that in here.
All of it?
All of it.
Ow, it's hot.
Can you get it? Here. And if it's hot, we'll use this. All right, now hold it. There you go. So we dump it in, get all of that out. Yep, let's see. The only thing with towels, you can't see it. Hit it for me. Alright, that's good. While it's still warm, the glycerin is pretty easy to come out, and since it's mixed with water,
mix that up?
we didn't need the spoon. I thought I might use it for the herbs, but I didn't. To spoon them out, but I just dumped them instead, poured them in.
Now we're going to squeeze it.
Now we're going to squeeze it. Yep. So we want to squeeze and get all of that out, and it's pretty warm, so you may want to let me do this. I don't want you to burn your hands. It is still hot. You can do honey the same way. Honey is just very hard to get all this out because it is so gooey even when it's warm. So it's kind of a pain, but I do use that sometimes because honey has such good qualities and good fruity stuff in it anyway, and it tastes good, so it does help mask some of the flavors of herbs for the kids. So we have used it that way. One thing that I've found, actually by accident, if you leave this overnight and let it cool off and dry out a little bit, it's easier to clean up the next day, because sometimes these can be a pain to clean. But, like I said, I found that out on accident, but it was a good accident. Now we have a tincture made of glycerin, and what I'll do is I'll just rinse this out, clean it out, put this back in here, keep it in a dark spot. You don't want the sunlight to be shining on it or put it in direct sunlight or anything like that, because that will break it down. And then we will take it, make sure that you label it.
You could just turn the light off and put it in your mouth.
We could turn the light off, yeah, but then when we came in, we wouldn't see. We need to turn the light on some. So it's good to put it in the cabinet where it keeps it dark. So make sure you label it. You don't want a whole bunch of herbs and not know what they're for and be like, oh great, what do I take now? So make sure you label it. These will last for 2 to 3 years if you keep them in a dark spot. And that is now how you can make your own tinctures.